Harare, capital of Zimbabwe versus Windhoek, capital of Namibia. Hello guys, if you're watching this on YouTube, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you are new here and you haven't subscribed, please do well and subscribe and turn on the notification bell so that you don't miss out on my next video. And to my returning subscribers, thank you for always coming back. I love you guys so much. So on today's video, we'll be looking at Windhoek, capital of Namibia versus Harare, capital of Zimbabwe. They are both political capital in the southern part of Africa in their respective countries. So we are going to start with Harare. Let's look at what Harare looks like. So this is Harare. Harare is the capital of Zimbabwe, formerly Salisbury, and no, so yeah, formerly Salisbury, and it is the nation's largest city by population and also like the most developed city in Zimbabwe. It serves as Zimbabwe's administrative capital, center of business and politics. So it was built by the British in the 1800s, and during the 1980s and 1990s, Harare was like one of the most prosperous cities in Africa. But I don't know what happened. Of recently, they've been facing a lot of economic challenges such as currency issue, inflation, and a lot of other economic crises, which has like hindered the growth of this city. So from the planning alone, you know that this is not like a very typical African city. Yeah, you see like it's well laid, it's well planned, the roads are wide. Compared to other cities in Zimbabwe, like Harare really stands out among all other cities in Zimbabwe. And one thing I so much love about most southern African cities is those jacaranda trees. Like you see how they blooms with the purple leaves. Yeah, you found this mostly in Zimbabwe and South Africa or Namibia. Like it makes the city so beautiful. They don't have green. You see, they don't have green leaf. They have those purple leaves, and it adds so much beauty to the city. So you see that building there. Oh, sorry, I'm going to capture that again. That building is actually the tallest building in Zimbabwe. It's called the Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe. So it's Zimbabwe's tallest building. So this part of Zimbabwe is like the central part of the city where you find most of the nation's financial institutions or corporate offices. So this is like the central part of Zimbabwe. Oh sorry, the central part of Harare. And from the architecture, I see a lot of British influence in this city, like this the architecture, the buildings, and many other things. Even that church you see there, like that's like you don't find that in most African countries. So it has a lot of British influence. So Harare is a colonial city. It's not a typical African city that was built by Africans. I mean, we only have few of such cities in Africa like that are political capital. That's like cities like Gaborone of Botswana and Abuja of Nigeria. Those are typical African cities that were built from scratch by Africans. So unlike Harare, Harare is a colonial city. It was passed down by the colonizers to the black government. So what the government are doing now is like to maintain most of those infrastructure, which I think like the government of Zimbabwe is not doing that properly. Like I mean, there's a lot of dilapidated infrastructure in these cities that the government is unable to maintain. So I think like the city does not just need more infrastructure, but they also need maintenance of the previous ones that the colonizers left. Look at that. You see how well planned. This is what I'm talking about. Like even most of South African cities, Namibia or Zimbabwe, Harare or Cape Town, like see how well planned they are. This is something you won't see in most West African cities or East African cities. And also, like I think this is just like this video. I don't know if this is the only areas in Harare, but like this is not the only area, but this is the most developed area. So this is Highland. It's actually the richest neighborhood in Harare. Okay, yeah, this Highland. So if you want to experience like luxury living in Harare, like you need to go to Highland. That's why if you can afford it. Still the central part. Please, if you watch up to this point, don't forget to subscribe, turn on the notification bell if you haven't, and please like, share, and comment. That's if you're watching this on YouTube. If you're watching this on TikTok, please do give me a follow and share the video. Thank you. So this is still like a central part of Zim. Oh, look at that! You see how well planned they are. Like those buildings, they are so like, and the roads and the jacarandas, like just so too beautiful. When you think of Harare, like, you feel like it's one underdeveloped place, but Harare is not an underdeveloped place. Like it's such a beautiful city. So all these buildings you see here, like they are all colonial buildings. Like they are all colonial buildings. So let me bring up Windhoek. Let's look at what Windhoek looks like. So this is Windhoek. Windhoek is the capital of Namibia. It's also the nation's largest city. This city was built by the German in the 1800s to become the administrative capital of the then German Southwest Africa. Yeah, so that was what it was called. It was called Southwest Africa or German Southwest Africa, and Namibia became the administrative capital. But after German lost the World War, it was handed over to South Africa. So it was being South Africa become like an administrator and looking over or taking charge of Namibia. Not like South Africa colonized it, but just like how the southern part of Cameroon was under Nigeria, was same way Namibia was under South Africa. So I would say Windhoek was mostly developed by the German and South Africa. So when you look at the city, it doesn't look like a typical African city. You see a lot of German influence. Even to today, you see a lot of German influence in this city, maybe through their architecture, their food, or their style. Like it has a lot of German influence. And like I said, the southern part of Africa was like more of a residential area to the colonizer because of how good the weather is. I mean, they complain a lot in West Africa that West Africa is too hot for them. So they were using West Africa more of trade. There was a lot of exploitation going on in West Africa. So while the southern part of they hope to settle in the southern part forever. So which was why they built it so well as their home, while West Africa or other parts of Africa was used like a trade center for exploitation. Not like there was no exploitation going on in the southern part of Africa, but at least they built something, unlike in other parts where they just like they took their resources out without building any meaningful or infrastructure. So this is what Windhoek looks like. And you know, Namibia is such a beautiful country. I mean, Namibia is the only place where you see the desert meeting the ocean, like is it Kalahari Desert meeting the Atlantic Ocean. Like if you see that view, oh my gosh, it's so beautiful. So this is also like the central part of Namibia, like the central business district. You see another part of Windhoek. I love that view. Like, can you see their streets? Like, this does not look like a typical, like I said, it has a lot of German influence. So this looks like a typical city in Germany. And that church there, I don't know if that's a church right at the center of the city. That's like a very iconic landmark in Windhoek. That church. So anytime you search Windhoek on the internet, you're going to see that church. The architectures, I think like they don't have jacaranda compared to places like Zimbabwe and Pretoria or Johannesburg. And also, Windhoek is a colonial city. It was not built by African government, so the colonizers left it to the African government. So it is a colonial city. So what the government mostly do now is like maintenance, maintain those infrastructure that were left by the colonizers. So let me know in the comment section. Do you think like Windhoek is more developed than Harare, or Harare is more developed than Windhoek? And also, Windhoek is more like a very calm, quiet city, while Harare is more chaotic because you have more people in Harare than Windhoek. So on a normal day, you will not see up to like 100 people on the street in Windhoek, but Harare is like has more population and is more vibrant than Windhoek. Well, let me know in the comment section, what do you think like between these two cities? Do you think like Windhoek is more developed, or do you think Harare is more developed? Drop your answer on the comment section. Let's like discuss about it together. Oh, like this doesn't even look at the street. Oh, sorry about that. Look at the streets. It doesn't even look like a typical African city, like honestly. Everything like is giving German, 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 yeah. Look at that. I know any city with that much population is easier to maintain, because I mean the more population, it means the more issue like traffic, waste management, or crime. Yeah, and when it comes in terms of crime, like I think like Harare is more safe than Windhoek. Windhoek like is one of the most dangerous cities in Africa in terms of crime rate. Like maybe like the foot or feet. So Harare is like more safe compared to Windhoek. So, but let me know in the comment section between these two cities, what do you think?